Yes, you'll often see me working here on the sets of Tech Today or even on the go, and my daily driver has always been an iPad. I try doing all my tasks on this particular device, but it's been more than a year that I've been using this M2 iPad Pro. When can I replace this? Okay, it looks like we've got a package all the way from Cupertino, but it looks a little smaller. This is the iPad Pro. What about the Air? That's package number 2. The iPad Air is here as well. So we have to unbox these and actually tell you whether the iPad Pro, which now comes with an M4, and the iPad Air, which now actually comes with this, the M2, is actually a worthy upgrade. Should you be investing in these new iPads? We're going to let loose here on Tech Today. So much has changed with these new iPads, but so much is the same as well. Like they say, same, but different. This, the iPad Air, and this, the smaller iPad Pro. Obviously, this one also comes in a 13-inch variant. This is an 11-inch variant, and this particular one comes now, the iPad Air, in this bigger 13-inch variant. So it's kind of confusing, and I can completely understand if you feel like this is creeping into this one's territory and this into this one. So I thought, let's try the iPad Pro in the smaller, niftier size, because that's where all the power editing and stuff happens. Now, what's interesting with the new iPad Air, the 13-inch version, is it's like you've sent the younger sibling to the gym and it's come back with this growth spurt and honestly taking on the Pro. Even if you give it 13-inch and all the cool new features which we'll be getting to, the iPad Air has a lot of things going for it. It's much more reasonable, has the same form factor as the Pro, right since its redesign in 2020, and it now has the M2 chip inside it, which is what I was using with the previous iPad Pro. Honestly, supercharged by itself until you waited for the M3, but then they really skipped a generation with the Pro and moved straight to the M4. Any M series chip by Apple is quite powerful. So you can't go wrong with an M series chip. A lot of you all write into me asking me M1, M2, M3. They're all incredibly powerful. The M4 is overcharged or supercharged, so to speak. But coming back to the iPad Air, how could they make this more alluring for the buyer? IPS LCD display, but honestly, it does the job unless you're doing absolutely pro things like what you would need an iPad Pro for. The new Apple Pencil works with this particular device. In fact, it only works with this device, and you can do all the cool things that you can do on the iPad Pro with this Apple Pencil Pro as well. The camera is now, like any other good laptop, on the longer side and not over here, which means that you won't be squinting looking at a Zoom call or a FaceTime call. You'll actually be looking straight into the eyes of the beholder, so to speak. So a lot of those things have changed. So honestly, the 13-inch version is a really good option for someone who wants an almost pro iPad, a big screen, double the storage, and something that's compatible even for artists with the new Pencil Pro and all the cool features we'll be demoing, and also wants to save a couple of extra bucks. It's far superior to the standard iPads and almost getting there when it comes to the Pro models. Now, the Pro models have gotten even more pro. With me, I have the smaller Pro of the lot, but you also get a far more superior, expensive option, which is the bigger 13-inch variant. And of course, the Apple Pencil Pro on an iPad Pro is a lot of fun. Now, this has all sorts of sensors. It's much tougher to lose. It's squeezable, and that gives you shortcuts. The minute I press this, you can see all sorts of things with the hover technology have come on. I can select the pen if I wanted, and if I want to start drawing, I can do that as well. They actually, with the gyroscope in this particular pencil, you have something called barrel roll, which if you turned the direction of the pencil, it would actually rotate like a normal brush. This is a game changer, an update that we needed. The Apple Pencil Pro, which of course you're in the Apple ecosystem, you need either the new iPad Air or the new iPad Pro if you want to use this magnificent new device. But this is an iPad when you want to use it like an iPad. What if you want to use it as your daily driver, maybe as your MacBook replacement? Then welcome to the new Magic Keyboard. What's changed? It has more of an aluminium finish over here. The trackpad is much bigger than the original Magic Keyboard. They also now have a function row right over here. You can adjust the brightness right from the keyboard, play, pause, lock the device. The iPad Pro with Magic Keyboard is a combination I use to do my edits. It's something I use for my emails, for my scripts, even when I am live on stage. Within the Apple ecosystem, it's all worked really well. The new iPad Pro is lighter than the previous one. In fact, it's the slimmest, believe you me, slimmest product that Apple has ever made across its product portfolio. That means this one, which is the smaller iPad Pro, is 5.3 mm thick, and the bigger 13-inch one, which has obviously more surface area, is just 5.1 mm. What does that mean? Well, if you look at my finger right here, and I'm going to place it right over here to give you some perspective, I could fit 2 iPad Pros here and then have some more space. That's how slim this product is, which obviously begs the question what the durability is like. I'm a little worried, so if you actually drop this, what does it mean? That's something I don't want to do, but it's something worth considering. How durable is this device? What the build quality is like? Now, I'd be missing out on the main details if I didn't tell you what makes the iPad Pro truly professional. And that each year, of course, is what's housed inside it. This time it's an M4 chip. That means they've leapfrogged straight from the M2 chip that I seem to use as a daily driver all the way to an M4. No M3, that's how powerful it is. So that's one huge difference if you're comparing the Air this year. But this one sometimes can even take on a MacBook Pro and definitely a MacBook Air in terms of computing power, in terms of some of the graphics processing. This is an Ultra Retina XDR. Honestly, it's the best display I've seen on an iPad. It comes with tandem OLEDs. Basically, they've put 2 OLED displays and combined the light from both of them to deliver maximum brightness. Of course, with this, they have ProMotion P3 wide color, true tone, and an anti-reflective screen coating. There's also a nano texture display option, which is a lot more expensive, and it is obviously for high-end color managed workflows demanding ambient lighting environments. What does that mean for brightness? I think this one can go all the way up to 1000 nits of peak brightness, but this is revolutionary technology on the new iPad Pro. Well, that brings us to the most important point, Apple's pricing for these 2 devices and our verdict. Should you upgrade? Should you invest in these devices? In terms of pricing, the iPad Pro 11-inch starts at $99,900 for the Wi-Fi version and $1,19,900 for the cellular version. The 13-inch starts at ₹1,29,900. The iPad Air 11-inch starts at 60,000 rupees and the 13-inch starts at 80,000 rupees. Both of these devices don't come cheap. The iPad Pro 11-inch with all of these accessories would cost you nearly 1.4 lakh rupees. The 13-inch version would cost you nearly 1.8 lakh rupees. Now, if you add all these accessories to the new iPad Air, which has a competent M2 chip in it as well, it's going to cost you nearly 1,25,000 rupees, all specced up. And now you compare that to a MacBook Air, which is also a great device, which would cost you maybe 10,000 rupees lesser. So you're entering into very premium territory, which now begs the question, who are these iPads for? I think it's for a very niche audience which understands where Apple is headed. And now the way that Apple is really working with this particular operating system, giving it all sorts of apps that are there in its laptop line, I think the era of convergence is finally going to be here. There will be a point in the years to come when macOS and iPadOS will be very, very similar, maybe even converge into one. Fingers crossed on that one. This is an investment for the future as well. But what if you own an older iPad or you're on the market for the first time for an iPad? This is the iPad. The iPad Pro 13-inch, for that matter, is a great device. And honestly, this is the dark horse. The iPad Air 13-inch, which means you save a lot of money compared to the Pro if you don't have this use case. It has all the features that you'd probably need for your daily tasks. Maybe some high-end editing, you would want a Pro. Otherwise, the Air has everything that you need. It's far better than the standard iPad, and it's far better than a lot of other tablets in the market. I honestly think this, with the Pencil Pro, which only works now on this, and of course, along with that, the Magic Keyboard, is the ideal combination from the new iPad lineup.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.